Hello, everyone. My name is Doc Holliday. I want to talk to you about the coronavirus. Um, well, first, a little bit about my background. I am a former Army Airborne Ranger. I also hold a degree in political science with a public administration option from Cal State LA. What again I want to talk to you about is you got to excuse me with this. I have a bad neck, and I was in a car accident, so I have to wear this to relieve the stress off of my neck. But again, my name is Robert Holliday. I also go by Doc Holliday. I'm a former Army Airborne Ranger with a degree in political science and in public administration concentration from Cal State LA. I'm here to talk to you about COVID-19, and I'm especially here to talk to Black and Brown community and poor white community in America, also in Brazil, but to every Black, brown person throughout the world and every poor white person throughout the world. I want this message to be expressly given to you because as we are dealing with COVID-19 in many countries, you are given a false sense of hope that that it isn't as bad as it appears. So, the first thing I would like to do is try to dispel some of the rhetoric that has been coming from the administration. In this case, it would be the Trump administration, as it relates to protecting yourself from the virus. Number one, these masks right here are not sufficient in protecting yourself from the virus. If you would remember in listening to the different CDC, press conferences, they always tell you in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, they ask for people to wear the mask. And what they explain is that if you wear the mask, if you have the virus, you should wear the mask because it will stop the virus from escaping or going beyond this point behind this mask here. So therefore, it would not it would not spread to other individuals. Excuse me. But that is one question. That is one thing to be asked. But what is not being told is that this same mask does absolutely zero to protect you from catching the virus. And the reason why I bring that up is because in America, you've had a lot of racist white people and people that are so concentrated on making money, keeping their businesses open in order to make money. They claim that it's unconstitutional for the government to make you wear the mask. We should not bow down to these people. We should not allow these people, just because they have guns and storm the capitals, we should not allow them to dictate health policies because it's ridiculous. But I'm sorry, I go on for different tangents, but that was one of them. I apologize. But back to the mask here. This mask will not prevent you from catching the virus. It will prevent a person who has the virus from sharing it or spreading it to others, but that is limited. And the reason why it is limited is twofold. Put this mask on. A lot of these masks that you are seeing, a lot of the masks that are available in stores, they are not N95 masks. They are masks that look like N95 masks, but they are just masks. They don't have the inner quality, the inner medical layer that is needed to prevent viruses from coming through. So again, If the person has the virus, they put this on. Okay, they put this on. Now, here's the thing. Again, with this, you have different ways of stuff getting in. And this particular mask, however, even though it is rather tight or whatever on my lips, there are still areas of which the the virus can come out. Now, I want everybody to look at how this mask fits. Okay. Another problem we are having is different manufacturers are manufacturing these masks at different specs. This mask fits me. I'm a tall male that has a big face, relatively I would consider, and this fits me good. But let me show you one other mask. Mask. Hello, America. I must have left it in my car. Okay, hold that thought. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I also had to get an ice pack to put on my neck because it's starting to hurt. All right, so as I was saying before, you have different types of masks that you use. This one here, for example, if you put it on, this one is kind of fitting. It's actually pretty tight. This is the first one. All right. Now, if you have the second one, again, made by a different manufacturer, different materials and everything, they look the same, but they're totally different. Now, when you pull this over, all right, it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger, and what you can do to test these out to see what I'm talking about is take a deep breath and breathe out. If you feel air coming out of the sides of these masks, that is an illustration of how non-efficient these masks are. They, even for those that are infected, if you feel air, those that are affected is going to come out of the sides. It's not a sealed compartment. What you need, if you're interested in actually protecting your life, what you actually need is something like this. You need something like a respirator or something that actually fits over your mouth and seals over your mouth and then you'll be filtered through materials like these. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the N95 particular one because they're real hard. They're only going to a lot of the medical people, hospitals and such. But hold on, what's it? Okay. But in any respect, I know that this is a lot better because it has the seal and everything. When I put it on, it's I don't inhale any of the air without it being filtered. With these masks, you are inhaling air and it is not being filtered, especially in the masks that are not N95. Because again, the mask isn't completely sealed over your mouth and nose. Speaking of which, a lot of times I've been walking around and I would see individuals with their mask on like this. So like this, with just their nose out. If you are trying to protect yourself from COVID, that does you no good. If you have COVID and you're trying to protect the public from getting infected, that does you no good. Because the reason why is you inhale and exhale out of your nose. You don't inhale and exhale out of your mouth. You speak out of your mouth, true, but the virus is also transmitted from every breath that you take and and it can affect those that inhale. By every inhale that they take, more and more viral load is being dumped into your body. So, just please, for everyone listening, I know a lot of the governments have failed you because they don't even have these available. I talked to many residents in my city, and a lot of them have no idea how to get a mask, what number to call, where to go to get something to protect them. And to me, there's a lot of people to blame for this. You can start with the president, the vice president, the director of FEMA, the director of the FDA, the director of, and then you're talking about state governments, the governor, the state board of health, the mayors of the particular cities, the legislator, both on the national and the state levels. All of these people are letting our country down. They're letting our citizens down. Because again, all of us know that the president of the United States is racist. He is currently the Grand Marshal of the KKK. He is currently the Grand Marshal. Donald J. Trump is the President of the United States, and he is also the Grand Marshal of the KKK at this very day. Remember that President Trump's father was a member of the KKK. If you are a member of the KKK, you're going to teach your children the same ways as the KKK. So, the goal of the KKK is to extinguish all of the black people, the Mexican people, and all the white people that agree or side with the black people. They want to exterminate all of us. And then on top of the fact that Trump knows that as soon as he gets out of office, he's going behind the jail, he's hell bent on saying fuck you to everybody in the USA. So again, whatever the CDC says, you can accept that, but you have to do a lot more than that, because all they're doing right now is covering their asses, because they don't want to be sued by individuals once the new administration goes in. So you got Dr. Fauci, Dr. whatever the woman's name is, explaining to you to wear your mask to prevent the transmission. But what is being conveyed to the public is, wear this mask, it will keep you from catching COVID. That's a damn lie. This mask will not prevent you from catching COVID. The things that will prevent you from catching COVID is, number one, staying your ass at home. That's number one. Number two, you have to have, if you want to protect yourself, you have to have a true mask that is going to filter all air that is coming in to your body. So you have to spend more money than whatever this costs. I think you can get it at CVS for like $20 or $10 or whatever the heck for a box of these. Oh, and then, speaking of which, these are disposable. These are for one use only. When you take off this mask, you should not put this mask up in your visor and just have it sitting there for tomorrow, because if you have been exposed to the virus, that virus is going to stay on that mask that you have hanging up in your car. And a lot of people wonder, oh, I don't know how I caught the disease, because you brought the disease into your house. When medical staff wear these masks, it is to prevent the patient that they're operating on from getting infected by the patient. By the doctor. The mask is not, these type of masks are not used by the doctor to prevent him from getting infections from the patient. If you look at the news, they have big big old, like, they have their own air supplies. They have their own air supplies because they know that if they inhale any of that stuff, it is going to, they're going to catch a disease. There's been like 40, 50,000 people that have nurses and doctors that have caught this disease, and a great many of them had died. And this is worldwide. So a lot of those reasons is because a lot of the hospitals don't even have the knowledge or the equipment, personal protective equipment that is efficient enough or proper for the task that is in hand. So again, do not, again, people all across the world, please do share this video to your friends and family. Do not put your faith in this mask and say that it's going to protect you. It is not. Your shirts or handkerchiefs that you put over your nose and everything, it will not affect you. Number one, two things. Number one, I'm going to talk to you about. I want to talk to the people of faith because I have heard a lot of people of faith say that I'm not worried about it. I get God. God is going to protect me from this. I just pray about it. And I want to tell all of those people, black folk, white folk, Japanese, Asian, Spanish folk, everybody, black people across the continent of Africa. Gosh, I left off. Forgot my oh, that was what it was. If you, how do I say? You cannot pray away this virus. Praying away, you can't go home and just pray about it, because that's what somebody has told me. I checked her at Walmart, and she didn't have her mask on, and I'm like, yo, why don't you have your mask on? Why is it all the way up under your chin? You need to put it on. She's like, oh, I ain't worried about it. I just go home and pray about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just go home and pray about it. This shit can possibly kill you. And you sitting up in here at Walmart, working at Walmart, and you got, I don't know how many people passing you every dang on day that could have this disease. To all my black and brown people all across the world, white people everywhere, every person around the world, God is not going to protect you from this disease. You can pray on it all you want. This virus does not respect God. It will kill you. God cannot intervene if you don't have the proper medical help for you to how do you say, recover from this disease. So, and then on top of that, on top of that, in terms of the care of the individual, most hospitals have been putting people on respirators. It has been determined that the respirators are actually causing a lot of the deaths that we're having, because what basically is happening, your lungs are compromised, when in reality everything is compromised. All of your organs, internal organs, are compromised. It's just that with your lungs, it is more pronounced because of the fact that if you're not breathing, you're going to die. And people the instruments detect that, but they don't necessarily detect what is going on in your brain or your heart or your stomach or any of your other organs, liver, gallbladder, all that stuff. It can wreak havoc. So a lot of people have been treated on ventilators to help them to breathe, but even with the ventilators, like 80% of them are dying, or 50% of them are dying, or what have you. Those are huge numbers. And the reason why that is because it is not just a virus that attacks the lungs. It is a viral load that attacks the entire body. There's even been people that have complained about aches in their bones, all over them. All of their bones were aching like heck until they got some help from the doctors. So, you know, it's something that, you know, again, the doctor, I mean, the God is not going to be able you're not going to be able to pray this away. So I just want to, you know, inform you all on that. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? I'm sure there is. Let me try to look at my notes here. I think, and again, if I haven't said it already, the president is, yeah, I have said it. I'm going to say it again. The president is the Grand Marshal of the KKK. So, you know, it is up to you. It is up to you, the individual, to do what is best to take care of yourself. Because as I mentioned before, you have all these entities of government that is not doing what is necessary to protect its electorate, its people. So I need the people to protect themselves. And it's not like the white guys with the guns and everything. That's not the protection that you need. What needs to happen is mask. It needs to happen. So again, remember that the government isn't telling you the whole truth. You have to listen to the things that they are not telling you as well in order for you to get a proper education on it. Again, all those cough masks and everything are not going to protect you from getting the virus. So you have to up the ante. You have to put in, you know, $40, $60 or whatever to get this type of device. And it would be nice if, you know, we would have some people that, you know, companies getting tax breaks or whatever to produce these masks. Because nobody has masks in order to proper masks in order to protect themselves. All right. So the thing about it, it's been like 5 months, 6 months since the virus has been on American shores, and our president is sitting on his ass. He's sitting on his hands. He's going to continue to do so. This, you know, I apologize to everybody, all the Americans, you know, the whole world, and all the people throughout the world. I apologize for the actions of our president. And please, WHO, you know, continue to build the U.S. because we will have to help pay to eradicate the virus throughout the world. But I urge you, and I urge everyone that listening to my video to please share it with with your friends on your platforms and everything, because you know, I just want you to do that. Okay, let me see one other thing here. The blue mask are. So again, now in terms of the virus, I want you to understand how this is. The virus is something like, imagine like a cigarette. If I'm in here smoking a cigarette, right, and say I'm a chain smoker, right, and this whole house is like smells of cigarette. Say my neighbor comes in. My neighbor comes in, and he smells the cigarette smoke, but he stays, 5 minutes. He even fires up a cigarette. No, actually, no, he don't fire up a cigarette. Let's leave that out of there. He's into the house. So, and he doesn't smoke at all. So by him being in the house for 5 minutes and him coming back outside, guess what? His clothes smell like smoke. Okay? So not only had he been in the room inhaling the smoke, but being that he'd been in the room for so long, the smoke is now attached to his clothing, his body, and everything. So this is the same thing that happens with the Covid-19. with the COVID-19, it is it like when you speak and everything, those air molecules or those molecules of the virus is floating in the air, almost as a smoke would. You know how the smoke would billow and everything, and how do you say, fill the room. It's the same way. And what happens is it would attach to your body or to your mask, and you would take it home and you would hang up your mask in your car. So that viral load is there. Plus, the viral load is there when you are within your clothes and everything as well. So you have to make sure that you're limiting your exposure to these viral loads, because if you don't, you would be put at risk. Okay. But when it comes to going to bars, a lot of people say, "Oh, they got the fan on and all that stuff. That'll help to eradicate the virus." All that fan does is just stir that crap right back up and make it more faster that the molecules are moving. You got to look at hospitals. When doctors are treating COVID patients in the hospitals, they are putting on big masks and everything, and they have their own air supply, and it is a negative airflow room, meaning that they have devices in the room that will suck all the air out of it. And all the molecules that are floating around in the air, it will suck all of those molecules out of it, thereby eliminating the possibility of air or virus in the room. Plus, the medical person has that big mask on that prevents. So both of those two things are working for them. Not these kind of masks. If you look at the news, they have entire like space helmets they put on. Plus, they have the suits that are antiviral suits. They have these suits that protect them to make sure that they don't catch disease. These big old giant things here. If you don't have that, you should not be around anyone that has the disease. Another thing, with the mask, yes, it's good. But another thing that happens with that disease is it goes into your eyes. If you are in a situation where you're around people that you are unfamiliar with, regardless of if they're friends or family or whatever, if you don't know where they've been, it could be a possibility that they have a mask. You need to treat everyone. It could be a possibility they have the virus. You have to treat everyone as if they do have the virus. Now, as I mentioned, the virus, it stirs around in the air and everything. You've already got your nose and mouth covered, but there's one other place of entry that this virus can get into your system. The other place of entry is your eyes. So, therefore, if you're going anywhere, if outside of your house, or that's going to be in a room or something with a lot of people with viral loads, you have to wear goggles that are sealed, not just glasses. You want goggles. You want, these are something like ski goggles or whatever. You want something to prevent the virus from coming into your eyes as well. Because that is another way that you would get it. And you can see all around, you have people that are symptomatic, lesser symptomatic than others, meaning that they had less of a viral load that other people have had. And they often said, "I don't know how I did it, or how I got it. I was doing protection, I was wearing a mask and everything. But again, these masks are not good enough. So don't put your trust in these masks. Secondly, the virus not only can come in through your nose and mouth, it can also come in through your eyes. So what I'm saying all this to you all, that you have to actually respect what is going on. We right now have like 130 some thousand people that have died, that have lost their life. 135,000 people have died from this virus so far. By the end of the year, the way we're going, well, it could be over 300. By election, it's going to be over 300,000 people that have died from this virus. But we can't be so mad at it, or we can't just say, throw our hands up and say, "Oh, the virus has won," or we're just going to have a bunch of people that's going to die from it. There's nothing we can do. We cannot be like that. You cannot wish the virus away and go out and be what do you call it? YOLO. You only live once, or whatever that crap is. Look, that was okay when there wasn't nothing, no viruses and everything out there to kill you. You cannot continue to be stupid, especially as it relates to the virus. Be smart about this shit, people. Be smart. Use your intelligence. Sit down and really still your mind and wrap your mind on what is going on as it relates to the coronavirus. Make sure that you do things that is necessary to protect you and your family, and to make sure that none of the viruses come into your home. Proper masks, again, not these ones. If you have them, wear them until you actually get upgraded. Get upgraded to a mask. Do whatever you can to make sure that you have the proper protection. Now, other things I would like people to do is to contact their mayors, their governors, all their elected officials, whoever the state, state medical boards and all that is. I need you to call all of these people and find out what the fuck are they doing to help its citizens. Thus far, I've only seen one place in America that is going door to door to deliver things, to deliver essentials to help them to deal with the coronavirus. I've only seen Miami do this. And kudos to Miami for doing this. It's been, I think, I'm not sure how long they have been doing it. I think it was only since a couple of weeks, but regardless to when it was, I'm glad that they found out that this is something that is needed, because they have been hit very hard out there. It's nice that they're using other tactics to